Want to start off with a question. You get to swap lives with one celebrity for one day. Who is that person going to be, and what are you going to do that day?
Who's a celebrity? The first person who comes in mind is The Rock, like Dwayne Johnson. And just to see, like, you know, I'm a big work ethic guy, right? I'm a big, like, basketball this, business, come in, shoot a podcast or show, then go on back on the plane, go, you know, on the road, like all these things. So I would love to see his work ethic, first of all. I think he's like, the way he, you know, him lifting, keeping up with his like nutrition and diet and, you know, his body, then shooting movies, then creating all this content and just being an ambassador to so many companies and having all these businesses. So that would be interesting to see him, yeah.
NBA city with the best food.
NBA city with the best food. I think I've done this before. I think the NBA cities with the best food that I feel like has always been obviously the big cities like New York, Chicago, because I only eat like either Greek food or Nigerian food. That's what I eat. Like if I'm gonna go out, if I'm gonna eat. But for some reason, I'm not gonna say my favorite. I'm gonna say for one reason, the cuisine I liked a lot was New Orleans. So, you know which one was my favorite dish in New Orleans? I already told you this. So my favorite dish in New Orleans cuisine is turkey neck. I've never had turkey neck. It was the first time I had when I went to New Orleans, and I was obsessed. I think I went when Bob and Chris listen to this pod, they're gonna die laughing because they remember it was me at the table, me, Bobby Portis, and Chris Middleton, and I think it might be somebody else with us as well. I don't know. It was just us today for sure. And when the turkey neck came in, it was like, oh, Tia, you gotta start trying American food and cuisine, soul food and everything. And I tried the turkey neck, and I might have had like 18 of them. Not even joking, bro. 18 of them. And the reason why is, you know, it's not a lot of meat on the bone, so I just like they cooked it so well, and I was like, you know, and I'm a creature of habit too. Like I don't deviate. Like if I like something, that's what I like. I don't switch up in general. Like either friends, relations, like even food. Like I really am like this, you know. So yeah, turkey neck, New Orleans. Wait, if I could learn to play an instrument, which one would it be? I think I'm gonna go with either piano or actually no, I'm gonna go with violin. Makes me look sophisticated. Like.
All right, and then as I always got to have a little out there question for you. I want to read this one properly. Would you rather hit every red light for an entire year or have the slowest internet connection on your phone and iPad for a year?
I'll take the first one. I can't have
me
slow
too.
internet, but I gotta work. I gotta work, brother. I gotta download decks. I gotta work. I gotta read emails. Like I gotta go through updates, and I gotta work. But stuck on every red light.
That gets tough, man. That gets tough too.
But I mean, traffic exists, so it is what it is. Till we have flying cars, we'll see.
Is that your next business venture?
I don't know. I can't say. Hey,
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right, let's get to the guest.
All right. Hey, you guys are going to be excited about the next guest. Thank you guys for supporting. Please let us know. Like, comment, subscribe. I think the subscribe button is right there, I think, on the video. You guys have been amazing. Negative, positive feedback, everything is welcome. This is how we get better. Thank you so much. Enjoy. Welcome to another episode of the Thanasis Show, man. It's been incredible. You guys know I'm still recovering from the playoffs. Weird feeling. Done early, but it is what it is. But a little bit to ease my pain, you know, I got somebody special with me here. And usually the intros for me are easy, but this intro I worked on it. You know, I worked on it and I said to myself, I'm gonna get it right? So this is if you could excuse me, this is off the top of my head now, right? From Milwaukee, Wisconsin, one of the funniest people in the Midwest, an Emmy Award winner, a comedian, and a Midwest survivor, waiting up 84, Charlie Man.
Wow, no teleprompter or anything, all off the top of the dome. I'm very impressed. Thank you.
Thank you. I do have my iPad here, but you know, I
didn't see you do it at all.
One time. I didn't look one time.
Yeah.
Talking about, I was talking about the playoffs. I was like, man, I need somebody here who's gonna make me
laugh.
That's
my job.
I'm gonna have fun. But before I start that, I wanted to tell you because I watch a Spurs show, I watch the other stuff. I want to tell you, I haven't had a brat yet, right?
You haven't had a brat yet?
No.
How is that possible? Like, is that not part of your diet over at
No,
the Hawk?
it's not part of my diet.
I mean, well, you know what? I hate to say this. Maybe that's why the playoffs didn't go so good. I'm just saying, if you would have had a brat.
I do.
I didn't want to bring it up, but you brought these two things in the same realm of conversation. You said you're disappointed about the loss and you've never had a brat, and I feel like, I mean, how is that? What's going on?
I'll tell you one thing about the brat. First of all, it's a cultural thing. I'm not from here, but I've heard the word brat this year at least 100 times.
Okay. Yeah, it's like once you hear it, you can't unhear it.
Yes.
It's like you never think about a yellow Ford Taurus, but as soon as your buddy comes home with a yellow Ford Taurus, you start seeing all these yellow Ford Tauruses on the road.
All over the place.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, I was like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. But then this mother thing, does it make a difference where I have it? Is people kind of make it better? Is people make it more delicious, or is it just like a hot dog? And I don't want to, I don't want to compare it to hot dog, but I want to know what's the?
Yeah. No. I think that's a great question, and I got to tell you that there's not just one spot you can have a brat. I mean, there is the brat stop. The brat stop. It's just down south a little ways. Not far from the Mars Cheese Castle. It's between here and Chicago. There's a brat stop. So if you want, that's an iconic one.
So I'm gonna go all the way to. Just a little bit before Chicago to get.
You can also just go to the bar right down the street.
But it's not the same though. It's better quality.
Yeah, well, there is a quality thing, yeah. But I would say that everybody in Wisconsin who's doing brats is doing them pretty good. There's not a lot of bad brat action going on around here because if a place does bad brats, they're not sticking around too long. And of course, Sheboygan, kind of brat central, it's just north of ways, just down the main drag up there. But if you want, you can come on my podcast.
That's what I was about to say. So that's why I'm waiting. Like if I come to the podcast, tomorrow, the day after,
I'll make you a brat.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'll do it on the grill.
I'll hold you onto it. Yeah. Now, it's crazy. We just started with the conversation about the podcast, but we're 5 boys, right? With like a big family, and I heard that. You're like one of 12. Bro.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I'm mass produced. Yeah. Yeah. I got 8 sisters and 3 brothers. So it's 4 boys.
What do you rank?
I'm second oldest. Oh. Okay. So 2 of 12, 1 of 6 if you simplify the fraction. But so I'm on the older end of the kind of like you,
Yeah.
So,
I'm the second too. I'm the second.
You're the second. We're both second oldest. That's what's up, You can trust people like you and me.
Yeah,
you get the youngest. Yeah, can't trust the youngest.
Do you
tell your brother I said that? My sister already knows. My sister knows she can't be trusted. So.
No, I think there's a thing about families that sometimes, even growing up, some of I see with my brother Alex too. Like he's the youngest, right, in the family, and he's 21 now, 22. But to me, he's always 12. I don't know why. In families, sometimes you have that feeling that they never grow up. So sometimes you just leave them there,
and you treat them like that, like in public, and people are like, "What is wrong with you?" She's my sister. She's fine,
And I gotta be better, man. I gotta be better. But
what do you do? Like, you treat him like he's 12?
No, I'm not saying I treat him like he's 12, but I feel like. He's always stuck in that age just because of we all grew up together and we're all the time together. But then you realize in certain parts of his life, like, oh my God, okay, he's growing up, he's playing professionally now. Like, oh, he went overseas. I'm like, oh man, he's a man. Like he's doing his thing, and it's hard for you as an older brother to see that because you're like, in big families, you're always sometimes like the youngest always kind of stay the same. You're like, okay, you know, for Giannis it's different. We grew up, you know, have like bigger family and etc. But for you, was it hard to like?
To have a bunch of kids?
No, I'm saying to be like in this like 12. Like I know for me, it's a blessing. Like be 5 brothers and we always kind of hang out with each other and play. But for you, like was it hard? How was it?
Oh, I mean, it was great. It was so good now. You know, like you look at Christmas, and Christmas is always fun because like your younger siblings, they still believe in Santa, or at least they'll pretend they believe in Santa, so you can like enjoy it. It's funny, you get that weird age as a kid where you go from believing in Santa to not believing, but you don't want your parents or the people who think you still believe to not know you don't believe.
Yes.
But it's a lot of fun. I mean, of course, there were a lot of interesting fights and all that stuff going on growing up, and it was chaotic growing up because there was 12 kids in one house, you know, and but I love it, you know. It's been a real gift, a real blessing.
Yeah, it's. Did you ever had any like meaningless fights, like just nothing? You're like, oh my god, why am I even like? But you're kids, you know, kids like.
Oh, we got in fist fights all the time.
Really?
Yeah. You know, wrestling, punching. I shot my brother with this airsoft gun once, and then he just straight up kicked me in the pecker. So, and I still think about that sometimes, and it pains me. So yeah, no, we really got after it with each other. That was part of the fun, you know, just fighting each other.
But you guys are close now, like you guys close out. But you did say Packers, like you're a big fan of the Green Bay Packers. You took it from Packers to Green Bay Packers.
I love the transitions here.
Good, right?
It's seamless.
That's Tony, the producer right there, teaching me journalist skills. So you are a big fan of the like Packers.
I mean, you know, Wisconsin teams: Packers, Bucks, of course, Brewers, Badgers, Admirals, even the whole deal. I enjoy it. But yeah, the Packers. I grew up a big Packers fan because you know. At one point, I thought I was going to be a professional football player.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so you did say number 84.
Number 84. That was my football number in grade school. Now, those dreams died almost immediately, but they were there. I really believed it for like 2-3 months. Because what I would do is I would run the reverse in I-29 reverse, where basically – when you're playing, like I was a split end, a receiver, and you would go out to make it look like you're going for a fly pattern, and then you'd go back around, and you'd get the quarterback would hand off to the running back who would run this way. He would hand it off to me, so it was like a fake play.
Yes.
And everybody would, when you're that age, nobody would stay home. So it was just an easy touchdown.
Yeah.
So I thought because I could score an easy touchdown meant I was going to go to the NFL. And then I learned that was not the case, you know. So because as soon as people understood how to play football, I was no longer a good football player. So, but for a very brief period of time, that was me.
So if you could say now, right? If you was a football player, which football player would you be? Like you think?
Oh man, which one would I be? Well, I'd be whatever one is on the bench not doing anything. that's pretty much, that's where I would be.
But okay, yes. But now let's say example, like you could be, would you like to be a quarterback? Would you like to be a running back? Would you like to be like,
I mean, I think it'd be great to be, if we're just playing fantasy here, yeah, I want to be the quarterback.
Do you have like your favorite quarterbacks?
It's always been like the Packers quarterbacks, you know, just because like I grew up watching Brett Favre, and then obviously it went to Aaron Rodgers and now Jordan Love. I mean, I could pick any of them, you know. I would say Jordan Love.
Yeah, I did have him in the pod too.
Of them.
Great guy, amazing dude. Bro.
Yeah, I liked your pod. I listened to that.
Yeah,
that was great.
Great guy, great dude, and the things we talked about. And they actually explained to me, you know, what the Lambeau leap is. I didn't know what that is.
Yeah. It's so my buddy Leroy Butler, he invented it. So, and you got to get him on your podcast too. Yeah. So he was playing for the Packers in 1993. I want to say it was a very cold day. There was a fumble that led to a lateral. Reggie White caused the fumble. I think picked up the football, lateraled it back to Leroy Butler, who took it to the end zone. Leroy then just spontaneously jumps into the stands on like this cold day, and fans are grabbing him. They spill their beer on him accidentally. He comes back out reeking a beer, and that's how the Lambeau Leap was born. That's how it was invented.
That is crazy. I was thinking about that, and because he was telling me like, hey, it's not that easy as you think. I was like, really? It looks like it's high, you know. And then he proceeded to tell me like there's a lot of guys who actually have tried it and couldn't make it. They came right back. That's not laughing. I was like, oh, sure, it's not. It's probably up there.
It is up. I mean, for you, it would probably be pretty easy, but for football players. There's different strengths for football.
Yeah, I think they're more vertical. I'm like, they more like a vertical like jump and not running. Because like we're more of a running jump, like volleyball. Like we kind of more like run towards the basket or the goal. So
build some momentum and then give it a go.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So which one, if you had to pick, I know you're not, but don't put the Bucks in. If you had to pick your favorite team in Wisconsin, would you say it's the Packers?
Yeah, the Packers. Because I grew up watching my dad watch the Packers and my uncles, and my dad would, he would get mad when the Packers weren't doing good. So I kind of took that on, and I would get very emotionally attached. And like I remember, I got this cocktail spear, this little thing that was in my drink, and it was yellow. So I kept it, and then like it was an arrow going that way. So anytime the Packers were going that way, I had it on the ground going that way, and I put like a little Brett Favre down there, and I had a football that I would write stuff on. I mean, I had like Packers OCD kind of. I was very superstitious about it, everything. And then if they lost, I would go in the backyard and cry.
You know what's so crazy that you said that? So when we play games and people have noticed it, some people, like some like Milwaukee Bucks, like that high fan will contest to this. So we have a dinosaur on the score table, close to the score table, right?
Yeah.
And so whenever we at the bench and it's timeout, his name is Rex, by the way. And
good name.
Yeah.
Very creative.
So whenever we got a timeout, Brooke will come in and kind of like turn him towards facing the team on the timeout with us. And then whenever we're playing the game, he about to sub in, he would just like face him out towards the game, and he gives us a good look and stuff like that, which is fun. But that's what I did.
That's exactly where did that come from?
No, it's Brooke. Brooke one day, what's crazy? I didn't even notice it my first year. I noticed it like, I've been with Brooke Lopez for like 5-6 years. I was myself, oh my God, almost half a decade plus. So I noticed in my second year, like something's wrong. Like whenever I looked at the score table, I would see Rex the other way. I'm like, and then Giannis started doing it. It was like, hey, he would see him fall down, like, oh no, Rex. And then Giannis started doing it. So I was like, okay, it's a thing.
So was it something that he had at like? Did it just start at the Bucks, or what was like the initial idea for that?
I don't know. I gotta ask him because. The other thing is we have another bigger version of Rex in the locker room, treatment room. So that's kind of our other mascot too. So when you said that, that's what I thought about. But then, okay, I did see that you're actually performing at Christian Yelich's.
Oh yeah. Christian, yep.
Do you watch baseball or?
Yeah, I watch. I mean, I watch baseball. Yeah. I certainly enjoy the Brewers. I mean, look, with all sports, basically, I've watched them since I was a kid, and then certain seasons I can watch more or not watch more, get into it just because, sometimes you're working too much and you're on and you kind of lose track of things, which is sometimes I fall into that. But I certainly watch a lot of Brewers. I've only gone to one game this year though, but Yelly is having his charity event. He is a nice guy, isn't he? You gotta have him on the deal.
Yeah, I gotta get him on, Paul. We'll see. Hopefully, I get him. We'll see.
Yeah,
but he's a great guy.
Yeah, yeah. You guys just meet each other around all the athletes, or
that's a good question. So I won't say meet around, but we're all in sports events. We do a lot of like events together, either charity or they, like they might come to our games, basketball. We might go to their games, and support, either Packers or Brewers, etc. But most of those guys are really nice guys, and they, especially Milwaukee here, they're just here to like work and what I'm saying, and develop and work, play for the city and for the state. So it's a good thing. I love, like, most of the guys are so cool.
That's great.
Sports too.
I just wonder if there was like a club you guys all go to hang out, or like
Here?
a favorite bar or something. Yeah, there's
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee has. Sorry, I'm just readjusting. 'Cause I was sitting on this big pillow, and I was like,
I'm gonna put mine right here. Come on.
Yeah. Because I was looking at your posture. I was like, you got good posture, and I was like, kind of like. You ever notice that when you're just sitting thinking about something? Like it's like your brain is buffering in the background. You're like, why don't I just stop this buffering? So now I have a nice pillow to hold on to. It's like I'm in therapy. I want
you to be comfortable. Actually, what they say about therapy, this off topic, actually. Now this is going off. So let's say we're in couples therapy, right?
Yeah, you and I are in couples therapy. Yeah, it makes sense.
They're gonna clip this one. Watch. If I want to listen to you, right, and sometimes it's friction or between friends or couples who don't listen to each other a lot, like really listen. Yeah. So they will give you a pillow and be like, hey, if you're holding the pillow, right?
Oh yeah.
You're allowed to talk.
Oh.
You'd be like, hey, I feel this way, I feel that way. And then when it's the other person's time to talk, you give them the pillow.
It's a talking pillow.
Yeah, and then
you can't talk.
Then you sit.
I got your pillow. And then what?
I gotta listen to you.
Oh yeah, you can't talk.
I gotta listen to you. That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's very fun.
It's fun.
Yeah. Do you are you a big therapy guy?
Meditation guy, not therapy. I think now this is gonna sound weird, not crazy, but I think I think most of the parts is everything is in your head, right? So most of the parts is like I really talk to motivate myself mostly and. Shit like that, and I'm a really good. I would say my emotional intelligence is really high, so I kind of understand with my surroundings. So I know how you. It's crazy to say, but if you didn't even say anything, probably 70% I would know how you feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm I can read the room. I can read
you read the room.
Somebody, if somebody wants to talk or if somebody wants to.
You're an empath? Right?
Yeah.
You feel what other people are feeling?
Yeah. That's
good.
Word. Thank you. That's the word.
So you meditate. What kind of meditation do you do?
So let's say I'm getting ready for the game. I'll probably shut everything down and kind of write 5 things, right? And then meditate on those 5 things. So I don't meditate and say hey, I don't talk to nobody. I just write those 5 things okay, the team has to be aggressive. I got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. And literally meditate on those hey, how do I do this? How do I do 1? How do I do 2? How do I do 3? And then go right back again. And right back again. Till it becomes second nature. So that's one form of meditation for me. Second form of meditation when it comes to stress is just I just close everything. I'll go home and shut everything down, lights, everything. Literally eat in the dark.
Little darkness retreat.
Yeah. Yes. I read about
Rodgers.
Sounds like that. Yeah, about they have this kind of for days though, but not days. I would go, let's say, maybe 30 hours. Yeah, it might be a day and a half.
You go 30 hours in the dark?
Because I'll finish practice, let's say example, and then if I have a day off, I'll shut everything down, phones, everything, right?
Yeah.
And then dark. Maybe I eat something, sleep, wake up the next day. If I have to go out at noon, I'll go out. If I don't, you guys are gonna see me at 5 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good.
But you don't say you come out, you're a new person, huh?
Yeah.
You come out, you're
well, you're not on the phone. The phones are such a drag, man.
It's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing that you can remotely access anything you want. Literally, I don't need a laptop. I don't need nothing. I just need my phone. Bank account, statements, real estate, any business I want. If I want to watch film, if I want to watch anything, my phone. Right? If I want to laugh, comment anything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everybody has access to you.
Yeah.
As well. And if you're that guy who cannot just separate those things, It's hard.
Right, especially if you're trying to focus and do something. I mean, it's really just geared to pull you away. You know, that's why the meditation stuff is great.
Have you ever felt stressed? Like,
Oh yeah,
really?
yeah. Felt stressed?
Yeah, I mean, everybody feels stressed if you're in this kind of world, but I'm saying like to the point that you felt like, damn, this is getting like overwhelming.
Yeah. There is a lot of that, and just because you know, you have a lot of I have a lot of things, and they're all a little different. Like, because I'll be on tour, you know, for a weekend, then I'll come back and I've got to do videos and make sure I got videos that are good. Because like doing the videos helps sell the tickets for the tour, but doing the tour is its own full-time job. Doing the videos is its own full-time job. Doing the podcast
And content and everything.
yeah, and then of course you do some charity stuff, and then people you know want something, you know, and not that that's a bad thing, but you try to be. You can go too long trying to be everything to everyone, and then you're done. You're spent. You got nothing, and then you kind of like. You just get into a low energy, a low vibration, or whatever, and then
That's the worst part too.
Yeah. You just gotta pull yourself out of that. So
That is for me that is the worst part, because like I'm a high energy guy, and if my energy is gone, that means like I'm really depleted. You know, I'm really like on the last leg or whatever you guys. How do they say it in the U.S. like the last like?
Oh, on my last leg.
Yeah, or these like my last like reserve like. Fuel or whatever, like
oh yeah,
like tank is like I'm done.
Running on fumes.
Running on fumes, yes,
yeah.
So you see that, and you're like, but you just need, you know, I think like that's when meditation comes in. That's where people, you know, have positive people around you who like fill up your cup and can get you back going, you know. But okay, you know, we talk about comedy, but like, how did you start comedy? What was the point that you said like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is because if you put your name on Google, it says journalist, American journalist.
I started off as a journalist.
Yeah,
I did.
So I want to like, and for people who like become your fans now, and like I want them to know like how did you get into this? You know how to.
Yeah. So in back in 2000, like this would go back. So I went to college, University of Wisconsin. I went to college for journalism. There was a job. MTV News, back when MTV was still doing news videos. I was working for them, covering the state of Wisconsin for that election year. So they had a rep in each state covering this was back in 2008. So I'm 37. So this was a minute ago. But they had a rep in each state. I covered that election. That's what got me into kind of news and also somewhat entertainment news, somewhat like infotainment, a little bit different news. Yeah. So then I started on that journalism path, and I was doing that when I graduated a little bit, but I was also working as a production assistant. I was just trying to find my way. Eventually, I got a job in South Carolina doing a news gig, and I had moved from Los Angeles at the time. Yeah. So as soon as I left college, I moved kind of all around. I ended up working various news jobs, South Carolina, DC, Dallas, and then I went back to Los Angeles to do sort of red carpet reporting. Okay. Which I hated. I was not good at it.
Why?
Because I have bad facial recognition. You know, so like if I see someone on the right, now some would say I just did zero research, but I would say both can be true. And so I just wasn't, it wasn't my thing, you know, like because I didn't want to just keep researching like all these movies or things I didn't really care that much about. So then I started doing stand up at night. Okay. And while I was doing local news, I would do a lot of things that people were like, you said that wrong. You know, you pronounced that wrong, or you enunciated this in a weird way, like because of my accent. So I would say opinion, you know, with a hard O, you know, or I called something a bubbler once on air, you know, because you've been
a bubbler?
Bubbler. So, okay, this is a big Milwaukee thing. In southeastern Wisconsin, a bubbler is like a water fountain. You know, where you drink water.
Yeah,
You know that.
Yeah, I know what the bubbler.
That's what we called it, a bubbler.
That's what you call it, a bubbler.
You called it a bubbler.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh, this is a wonderful teaching moment.
Yeah, I do
right
have
here.
a section that is like Midwest slang, but that's like bubbler.
Bubbler. Yeah.
Okay, that's the thing.
Because you know the Kohler toilets. You ever look at a toilet and say, "Oh, that's a nice toilet. That must be a Kohler." You ever do that?
No.
You ever see the word Kohler written on your toilet?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from?
Yeah, so Kohler is right up, you know Kohler's in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Well, Kohler invented the first bubbler, allegedly. Yeah, I don't know if that's a fact or not, but I think that is. So anyways, yeah, it's a bubbler. Well, I said bubbler. So bubbler in Milwaukee, you know, is a water fountain. You say that down in Dallas, they give the reaction you did. They're like, bubbler, I didn't think that was a device used to drink water. I thought that was a device used to smoke the devil's lettuce. You know? So now I got a problem.
I'm not even going to
on my
ask
hand.
what the devil's lettuce is. I'm going to just...
Well, you know, it's a little one of them things. Yes. You know, and then you feel funny in the head.
I figured that you go, what was the word they said? He said, then you go to the moon.
You go to the moon if it's a good strain. Yeah, if it's a bad strain, you go to the sun. Oh, God. And you lose your soul.
Yeah, it's.
But you know, yeah, I would say so. I developed this character based off my time in local news, who instead of taking all the things that people said I was doing wrong and changing them, I just took all the things I was doing wrong, I doubled down on them.
Okay.
So I developed this character that would be like, oh, geez Louise, folks, I tell you what, you know, it's hotter than a freaking perch out there and a fish fry floating, you know. Anyways, how's everyone doing? Anyone go ask? So I would just like riff in kind of that thing and give myself a situation to riff on stage. And I would do crowd work with that accent. Okay. And it would always sort of save my stand-up, which otherwise would just bomb, you know, because I wasn't good at stand-up at that point. So I realized that there was something there. And so I made a video, and the first video was called The Man-to-Walk Minute, where I took that news guy from my stand-up set, and I made him, I just made him an actual newsman, which is this Man-to-Walk Minute series that I first started with. And since then, that really changed my life, just doing that, you know. And that's, it started off with this Man-to-Walk Minute series, and then it went to sketches. And then, you know, you just keep changing the content style, or not style, but delivery system as these different social media platforms come and go, you know.
Do you have, do you have comedians that you on your free time that you watch and you laugh? Like you're like, no, I'm gonna watch this and I'm gonna die laughing. Like who are the comedians? You mean your?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, like top 5, let's say, example, top 10, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of. So, yeah, I mean, early on, like Jon Stewart was a guy that I watched a lot because he did a lot of news parody stuff. That it was called The Daily Show. It still is still on, but The Daily Show, that was one. I when I was younger, we had I remember watching like Richard Pryor's early stuff, you know, or his first specials. Like he was a guy that really like made the comedy special the special. But I remember watching that and just seeing the way he owned the stage, you know, and would make a big stage. Like you're one guy, you're a small guy on the stage, but the way you could like own a space that big as just a comedian was cool. Bill Burr is another one. I mean, I'm really listing off some pretty big name comedians. But there's so many other smaller ones that are just killer too. You know,
like even comedians now with podcasts. Who is the comedian podcast that you watch, you follow, or you would love to be on another comedian?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't. You know, here's the truth.
Yeah, be honest. Be honest.
Here's the truth: is I don't think I spend enough time, and same with sports in a lot of ways. I don't spend enough time consuming because I'm always spending time trying to create.
Okay.
But I don't think that's a good thing. I'm not saying like, oh, I don't watch that because I'm too busy making my own. Like, it's good to consume and to broaden your influences and to get inspired by other people and other things, you know? So I don't really, all that is to say is I don't think that there's a podcast that I'm like, I have to get on that. Because I don't think that except for this one, of course, because I don't think that, you know, I necessarily let myself go down the rabbit hole of other people's content because I'm like, I got to make so much of my own. Yeah. You know, so I think I'm a little bit off balance on that. It hasn't always been that way, but, you know.
No, it's a good thing. I mean, you're creating, you're working. It's not like you're sitting and you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
But they are like a lot of comedians out there that, you know, they have their own like kind of podcast and it's like funny. I feel like, you know, from guys like, you know, Joe Rogan, Theo Von, like everybody. You see like so many people just creating their own kind of platform, their own safe space, and it's so funny. And every podcast actually is like a comedy special.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Just that free flow. Like Theo's an interesting one with that. Like the way his brain works is just on full display on his podcast, and it's just that's what makes people like have this sort of deep relationship to you as a fan because you listen to hours and hours and hours of it, and the turn of phrases that he uses in particular, those stick with you, you know, and you just get to know a person better. I mean, it's pretty cool.
You know, you just got to find for what the reason, obviously, you want to do a podcast, and everybody has their own different reasons. It might be business, it might be entertainment, it might be learning. Like, for me, it's learning, too. Like, I learned so much things like we're talking about.
Yeah. I like that about your podcast, too. I like that you're really explicit about that, and you ask the question, because so many people listening are like, they want to know, too, but a lot of people are afraid to ask questions, you know, or whatever.
I'm not afraid to ask. And I'm not afraid to look like a dummy because I don't care. I'm not from here, first of all. And second of all, this is the thing. Like, everybody's trying to look so cool all the time. Like, bro, I don't think people have. I think they've done it's been a huge misconception in the past. Like, I think after COVID or whatever, like a misconception of like what cool is, what's the cool thing. Like, you can't teach people how to be cool. Like, that's just who you are. It's not like, oh yeah, I wore this, and now I'm cool. Like, no, that's who you are. That's not what you ask. You can ask whatever, and you still look cool, and you still do cool stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So same thing. Now, you said you grew up in Wisconsin. You lived here your whole life? No.
I lived in Wisconsin up until I graduated school, and then I traveled around the country doing different news gigs, whatever gig I could find for like 10 years. And then I came back. Yeah, I came back when I was 30 something, 31, 32 maybe. Cuz the Midwest comedy, the Manitowoc Minute had taken off, my stand-up had taken off, and I could kind of do it from anywhere, so I didn't need to be in Los Angeles anymore. So I just I officially moved out of Los Angeles for good during COVID.
How was LA?
LA?
I need an honest opinion. Give me honest, because everybody says everything different. So I want your opinion.
Oh, about LA?
Yeah.
I mean, I've lived there at many different times in my life. Yeah. Like when I first graduated college, I was like sleeping in my buddy's closet, you know, or like I didn't sleep in my van a lot, but sometimes, you know, because I didn't have much money. So I was like, I remember this one time I was at the bar, I was trying to buy this gal a little drink, you know. So I'm like, I got this. I put down my card, and they're like, sir, that's declined. And I was like, you want to get out of here in my minivan, ma'am? You know? So I wasn't the coolest fella, I guess. Or I wasn't like,
what happened, though?
I tried to enjoy
what happened
it.
With her, though?
I tried to enjoy it. What happened with her?
Yeah.
Oh, she left immediately. Like, as soon as I said minivan, I don't even know if I got the van out. I just said, would you like a ride in my Mini? Could have been a Mini Cooper. I mean, she didn't know what she was missing out on. But she did not miss out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, but anyways, so LA was a lot of fun. I had a lot of friends that were also not making a lot of money. But kind of part of the game there was trying to figure out how to make it without a ton of
resources, obviously, right?
Yeah, resources. So like I was a PA at the production company, and every Bagel Monday, there would be leftover bagels. So you know, I was in charge of getting rid of them. So that's what I ate till about like Thursday, Friday, you know?
Shoot.
Yep, exclusively bagel diet. Yeah, and peanut butter. And then...
by the way, I want to make a quick note about peanut butter.
Yeah.
So you know, like the first time like I've ever seen peanut butter was in States, right? States. Yeah, because we don't have... We do, obviously it's global now, but like... It's not such a big thing overseas. It's only here. And actually, we actually don't have like peanut allergies as people have here. The first time I saw somebody with peanut allergy was here.
Well,
I don't know why that is though, but
you guys do your peanut vaccines over there. Obviously, out here it's just a bunch of anti-peanut vaxxers.
Yes,
you know?
So I didn't meant to cut you off, but it was just blur like, oh my.
That's wild. What is your go-to like, what do you put on pickles?
On pickles? Who puts peanut butter on pickles? You do?
Oh my god!
You're joking. You can't.
You
serious, bro.
You haven't put peanut butter on. You haven't had a peanut butter and pickle sandwich?
No.
God.
You're lying. Is this a thing?
How do you guys?
Is he being serious? It's not a thing. You lying, bro. You know?
It's actually not bad. It's actually not bad. Do you like pickles?
Yeah, I mean a burger maybe. Not. Yeah. I don't like fried ones. There's some people like the fried and pickles and stuff like that. No,
just a nice little pickle after a long day.
Yeah, but just I didn't want to interrupt you. So L.A.
Oh yeah, L.A. I mean, it was good. I had as much fun there as I could. I did as much. I mean, that's really where I started to develop my thing. So the reason that I got to the level. So when I first went out there, the reason that I got a job on TV as like a host, that was my first news job, is I was a production assistant and I got bumped up to a set production assistant, which meant I could take the cameras and lights to the set and set them up. The whole reason that happened is because I accidentally shot my dad's minivan with a shotgun because my brother didn't unload the shotgun. And so I was pulling the guns out and his went off and my dad got pissed and he was like, you just bought yourself a minivan. And because, you know, the resale value, I don't know if you know this, but after you shoot a minivan, the interior with a shotgun, you don't have a very high resale value. So
I think that's every car.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, especially minivans, though. I found. So anyway, he that was my first car. I shot a good one. I went hunting for a car, I guess you could say. But because I had so much cargo space, because I actually blew off one of the bucket seats, so that wasn't even there. So and then I could put all the cameras and lights there, and so then they didn't have to pay for a rental truck. So they just used me. And because of that, I knew how to set up the lights and the cameras and everything. And so after I got done working, I would go back, set up the lights, and then shoot. Like I would set up a camera like that and do like a hosting reel, you know. And they were bad at first, but eventually they got a little better. And that's how I got my first job on camera. So, yeah. And that's a lesson to all you kids out there. If your dad's got a minivan, get a 12 gauge. See what happens.
Hey,
make that the real, with no context.
Yes, yeah. And after that, do not listen to this.
Yep, this is the disclaimer.
This is the disclaimer. Yeah. Be responsible, please.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can't even finish it.
Yeah. Be responsible, guys. That was said in jest, irony, sarcasm.
Yes.
But also, it works. So.
It's okay. Then you go there. Then you live in LA. You come back to the Midwest. Then.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't come back to the Midwest. I went LA, and then that job I got where I was shooting the videos, South Carolina.
South Carolina, and
then DC.
DC, what were you doing? DC.
I was in DC. I was like a business reporter. Okay. I was like half. So the job I had in South Carolina started off paying great, but then they couldn't make any money doing it. So then my salary got cut in half like within a month of moving there. So then I had to find another job. So my buddy was in D.C., so he got me a job there. So I would drive up from South Carolina. I worked 2 jobs, and I would drive up to D.C. I would sleep in the Holiday Inn parking lot, and then I would drive till about 2 in the morning, sleep in the parking lot, wake up, free continental breakfast. That's what I'm talking about. Right there. And then if you guys shower, you just wait for someone to leave their pool key on the table or their room key on the table. Now you have pool access. You can shower in the pool. That's what I'm talking about. So that was a very interesting.
This is like.
These are life hacks. Shoot the minivan.
This is the survival guide.
Yes. And
so wait, what did you find all this time to write a book, bro? Because you did write a book.
I did. It was,
and it did. It's like New York best-selling.
Yeah.
Am I lying? No, it's
no. It was. Yeah, it was on the New York Times bestseller list. Yeah, I was really lucky. Yeah, I it was a long book.
I mean, luck plays a role, but you gotta work hard. You gotta have something.
Yeah.
Like, nothing in this life is earned like this. I promise you, nothing.
Yeah. No. I agree with that. Yeah. But hard work plus. Yeah, you also have a following. I think it's like someone like me, you got a following. So if you write a book, you can be like, hey, all you guys that follow me, buy this book.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. And a lot of other authors don't necessarily have that. So maybe it's easier for someone like me to get on the New York Times bestseller list potentially.
But the thing is, let me tell you something about the following, right? Which I realized this when I started doing the podcast, is that once you grow your following in anything you do, right? You see it with your podcast. It's not the same. It doesn't mean because you're good at comedy, you're gonna be a good writer, right? It doesn't mean that if you're influence, none of this means you're gonna be good at a podcast. It doesn't mean like that. But then you build your fan base, they follow you a little bit, but then if they don't like it, they won't interact with it. But if they do like it, even a little bit, they'll buy it.
That's true.
They'll buy it.
That's true. I do. There are some really fun things in that book. I really do. I'm really happy I wrote it. Oh, sorry, that was a burp. I didn't want to put that on the mic. I didn't want anyone to know I just burped there, so I burped off mic. Okay. But I definitely burped, you guys. And I wish it was a beer burp. It was not. It was a water burp. So it was
mild.
It tasted like the last thing I ate. That's too much information for a podcast, but I feel like we are getting.
No, it's great. It's great. I love this podcast. I love it. I don't want this to end.
Yeah.
Okay. You read the book. You go back. I mean, for a person who was like, yeah, I didn't like the reported stuff or the journalist stuff. You did work for a lot of years as a
I know. Here's the thing. I think journalism is so important, and journalism has changed so much since I started doing it, and it's changed not always for the better.
Yeah.
Not always for the worse, though. I mean, good local journalists, I think that's such an important thing and an underpraised thing, and I think it's very important. But what I was doing like, at this point, I was doing red carpet reporting, which I could not find the fucks to give. Can I say fucks? I probably shouldn't say
whatever you want to say. It's my podcast.
I could not care. I couldn't care. Because it's not that I didn't think the things that these people were making were cool and great. It's just I didn't have time to, I don't know. Again, that's like consuming versus creating. I was just trying to create on the side.
Yes.
Maybe I was also like hoping that one day I could be someone that people ask questions to. Maybe there was some ego involved in that.
But you are the person who I'm asking you questions today.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that cool?
Yes, sir.
And then tomorrow I'm going to ask you questions.
Anything, you know this.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good approach.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. So it wasn't my thing. And some people love that, and that's great, and that's their thing. But I think that's part of this deal is you're just trying to find your thing. And you may not have the confidence initially. Like when I came out of college, I don't think I had the confidence or the life experience to be a really good comedian. Also, I wasn't that funny, And I think the funniness came from over time just being really not funny, and then slowly.
That's funny as well, being not funny. It is funny.
It is. If you know you're not funny,
It is funny.
But if you think you're funny, that's an interesting thing to watch.
So okay. Now this is more like a fan's question. So, what's been your worst fan interaction you've ever had?
Oh man, worst fan interaction. Oh, most of my fans are really, really good. God, there's got to be one. I gotta think of one. What's been yours?
Or mine? It's weird. I don't even think I can say this. Okay, I don't think I can even say this. But like, so sometimes like how you go to the airport.
Yeah.
So I'm at the airport, and you know how you go to the store. How do you guys call it? Stalls? Stalls, whatever.
Oh.
And I'm there, and I'm like, it's a long day. I got my headphones on, hoodie on, everything, and I was taking a piss, or whatever. And this guy literally taps me, bro. Like, he was like, "Oh my God, when you're done, like, can we take a picture?" And I'm like, I have never felt uncomfortable, but in my life, but at the same time, I'm such a, like, you see me, like, I turn out with a smile. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I got you, bro." Like, and in my head, I thought about it, like, and this happened recently. This didn't happen, like, when was this? Like, months ago, whatever. And then I thought about it, I was like, man, what am I even, like, thinking right now? Because then we take the picture, and then I walked back. Because at the time, I was tired, too. Like, so when you're tired, you're going through the motion, you're going through the trips. You don't think about it. Then I sat down, and I was like, what the did this guy just... Bro, let's say example, right? If I had somebody I look up to, right? Or I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to see him. I don't even know if I can go talk to him if they're with their, family or stuff like that. If they're in normal, like, kind of situation. But we're in the bathroom, bro. Like, it was crazy. But, like, that has to be... It's not the worst. I'm not saying the worst as a... he was just too excited, I would say. They were just too excited, which is okay.
He was too excited at the stall?
So he was. I don't know. It's no. I can't explain it any other way for somebody tapping your shoulder while you're, like, you know what I'm saying? But
did he say, "I like that tattoo on your wrist"? No.
Nah. You can't say that to me. Not to me. Nah.
Not while you're.
But
peeing.
okay. But then I've had best interactions too. I've had when I first got drafted and I went to New York. I said, "Hey, like, this is ice cream. It's called the kaimaki, pagoto kaimaki, and it's like a Greek thing. It's like mastija, and and then becomes like it's like a special recipe." And I was like, I couldn't find nowhere in New York. I couldn't find anywhere at the time. And then I think I either tweeted or said something on Instagram, and one of my fans at the time was like, "Oh yeah, I got you," and this guy, bro, sent me. Not the recipe, not just the ice cream. He sent me a whole ice cream machine.
Really?
To where I lived. Yeah, everything, ingredients, everything.
Oh my gosh.
And then, I saw this. I was like amazed. And what's so crazy? And now, like, that's my guy. He's my friend. Shout out to
that's cool.
It's like, that's my, like, because you don't understand. This person is, like, incredible. Yeah. Like, I was by myself alone. I was in New York, and I didn't know, like, I was like, oh man, I just got drafted to the Knicks. Yeah. Exciting, but I was just like, it's New York. It was such a big place. Yeah. And, I didn't live in the city. I left. I used to live, like, outside the city, like White Plains, kind of like.
Oh, yeah.
Type of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one day I just woke up and I had, like, a huge package, and I opened it, and it was an ice cream machine and all the ingredients for the ice cream and everything. And so the whole letter, but hey, I appreciate you. I saw your.
That's so cool.
Everything. This guy's incredible, man. And then, ever since I always have in my heart, like, if he has, like, and then we developed a relationship, like being friends, and now I've known him almost a decade.
That's just because
that's crazy, right?
And
so that's the best interaction I've ever had with the fans. Like, we're now, like, really close friends.
That's so cool.
Yeah. What's your best interaction with a fan?
Yeah, my best interaction. Geez, these are two questions. Well, let me tell you my worst first.
Okay, go.
I think my worst was I'm kind of I'm a bit of a people pleaser, Midwest guy, kind of like you said.
But that's how, yeah.
Yeah, and so there was one time very early on that like I met a fan randomly, and they're like, "Can I have your phone number?" And I was like, yeah, sure, that'd be great. So I gave the same phone number, except I changed the last digit. And then I'm walking away, and they're like, "Hey, did you get my text?" And I was like, "Oh, no. I must have given you my other phone number." So I then gave him my actual phone number, and he texted me so much. And I felt rude. I was trying to reply to like one every 10, one every 20.
You replied though.
I replied, but every time I replied, I got way more in return. It was, I don't know. So I eventually had to block the number because I couldn't. My phone was just, you know. But that
it's unfortunate, but at the same time, that can be for me and for you. Obviously, it can be a thing that we go say like, oh my God, okay, now you can't interact with nobody. You know what I'm saying? You're so open, you're so like you're very approachable. People wanna talk to you. So
yeah, I mean you wanna be, and not everybody has good sort of social boundaries, and you just kind of
social boundaries. That's what I wanted to say before. Social boundaries, like. How on earth would I ever think of like seeing somebody be like, oh, I'm so like let me,
Yeah. Everyone's got their own definition. Here's I will say the best interaction with the fan. I was driving down the highway in this 1981 Volkswagen Rabbit. It is diesel, and I had camoed it. I made it camo because I just took spray paint and made it camouflage. And so this guy recognized somehow that it was me. I don't know how I don't know. I thought my car was invisible at that point. But he's got a drop top little Mazda situation, Miata probably. Yeah, he had Miata energy. Anyway, he drives up to me and goes, "Hey, Charlie." I was like, "What's up, man?" And like my car's shaking because I'm going over 65 miles an hour. So I gotta keep it dialed in. And he's like, "I'm going over to my lake house, next exit. You want to come?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can't. Sorry." Biggest regret of my life. I should have gone to that guy's lake house. What a story that would have been. Now, I could also have died there. But you gotta, I was about to say that I do have that regret. So I think that was one of the best interactions. I mean, I'm talking about now. I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, it's so crazy that you said that. But then you never know what you're gonna get. I said this, and this person turned to be great. Turned to be a positive influence in my life. This fan, and that became my friend. He's became my friend. You know what I mean? And a family friend. But at the same time, not everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Not everybody. I don't think everybody's like that.
Yeah, no, you kind of roll the dice a little bit.
Roll the dice. Now that you say roll the dice, you gambled? Are you gambling or no? Really?
Mm-hmm. Me and my grandma, we go to the casino. My grandma Sue, yeah. Yeah, we like to go. We went to Pato not too long ago, actually.
Shout out to Dom. Shout out Dom Pato.
Yeah.
Great people. They work with the podcast too. We work together, and this guy's been amazing. I did my last podcast.
That's where you guys shot that one, that live one. That was super fun.
What do you like to play?
So I like blackjack.
Blackjack. That's a bit of odds. I mean, statistically, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of the ones of better odds, but I like roulette too. I mean, but mostly it's blackjack.
It's okay like that. But what are you doing in your free time, like here in Milwaukee? I want to know, like I'm not from Milwaukee and I'm coming here. Like, what would you tell me? Where would you take me?
Well, first I'd take you to get a brat and to have a drink at a bubbler. First thing I do. But second thing, I would say there's a lot of, I like being outside. I like to bird. I like to go look at birds and stuff. I like to go hike outside. Big outside guy. I like mountain biking. I like, I used to be a bike mechanic, so I like fixing my bike because I have a lot of friends. No, I just like doing that, like fixing stuff or like walking around outside or trying to fix stuff but really breaking it more. That's another pastime of mine. Do a lot of that. I like shooting bow and arrow. You know?
Bow and arrow?
Yeah.
Where? How? Where?
Oh, you can. We'll go sometime if you want. There's parks and they got haystacks. You know, and you just go put your target up there. Or just,
is it easy? Is it hard? Like
it's easy enough. I mean, it's easy to start. It's hard to be good. I'm not good, but you know. Sorry, that was another burp that I was trying not to have people listen to. I gotta stop drinking water. It's doing something to me. But yeah, it's if you wanted to start, give it a go. It's super easy. Yeah, you can do it.
So okay. Oh wait. Well, first of all, have you ever been in Greece? Have you ever been to Greece?
I've never been to Greece.
Kind of come to Greece.
I would love to come to Greece. Yeah.
Have you ever been overseas anywhere or?
Yeah, I've been overseas. I did a show in London when the Packers were there.
Okay.
And then I went one other time, but I stayed. I went into the UK and then did the things from the trains there. Yeah. So like Paris or Brussels. There were a few spots within the 6 days I was there.
Gotta come to Athens. You got to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell Zach. Zach? You gotta tell Zach to bring you to Athens. You gotta tell him get you to Athens. You would love it, man.
I would love to get out there. What's the best time to be out there?
Now. I mean, now? May, June, July, August. It's like 6 months summer, so it's.
Summer's
but
great.
summer not like the Vegas kind of like.
Okay, it's not that hot.
No,
it's
no.
nice,
it's
cool Mediterranean type deal.
Yep, exactly.
Nice
Mediterranean vibe.
What are you gonna do? What are you most looking forward to doing this summer in Greece?
So national team after national team, depends on hopefully everything goes well. And then just get time to spend time with family, get time to off-season to figure out what's going to happen next year, teams, etc. And, just get ready because this year was the toughest year I've ever had. Yeah. But, at the same time, it's going to be one of the best years I'm going to have because this is what happens. Usually when you go down, you just go like this.
Yeah.
So, just put my head down, get to work, and do it always with a smile, always with, positive energy and we go from there.
That's great.
I do have a segment that I want to learn a little bit about the Midwest slangs.
Oh yeah.
And I want to know if you know any of these.
Sure.
So I'll pull this off. Hold up, let me see. I pulled this off Google.
Okay.
All right, and it says Midwest slangs, from sources across the web, all over the place.
Okay.
So pop.
Yeah.
What is pop?
Pop is soda.
Pop is soda. Okay.
Yeah,
pop
you say
soda.
you want a pop. Or
so
no
some soda. Okay.
Yeah, it's a soda. There are pop people and there are soda people. There's team soda, team pop.
Team soda. Okay.
Yeah, it's different personality.
Yeah. So, don't you know?
Oh yeah, or no. Yeah, don't you know? It's it's kind of like some you can throw off to the side after you make a statement yeah, no, I just went down there, hit a deer, screwed up the whole gosh darn truck, don't you know? Yeah, don't you know? It could just be you're just, it's an awkward silence, oh, don't you know?
Okay,
yeah.
So basically it means what?
Don't you know? Don't you know what it means?
Oh, it means don't you know?
Don't you know? Yeah, that's really what it means.
Okay, but why do they say it in the end, though? Or
I don't know. Don't you know? That's why. Yeah.
I love this. Okay. Duck, duck, gray duck.
The duck, duck, gray duck is a Minnesota thing.
Okay.
So instead of playing duck, duck, goose, you know the game?
No.
You don't know duck, duck, goose?
No.
All right. So let's say we all sat in a circle. Yeah. And then you would be it, and you would just tap people on the shoulder, and you go duck, 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 duck. And then the person you say goose or gray duck, they have to get up and get around the circle, and you got to get in the circle before or you're out, and then you have to do the duck, duck, duck.
Shoot.
Yeah, and now that I'm explaining it, I don't really know the rules for duck, duck, goose as good as I should. But
yeah, I don't know.
I think I screwed up the game.
Okay, so it's called duck, duck, goose, but it's duck, duck, gray. But same thing.
Duck, duck, gray duck, same thing.
Same thing. Okay.
Goose is just sort of a big gray duck with a longer neck and a completely different species.
Okay. Then the next word is tomato.
Tomato. Yeah. Tomato.
That's
Yeah, I know. Tomato. Like, yeah, I mean, some people say it differently, like tomato. You know?
Really?
Like potato. Tomato,
Oh,
potato.
okay, but the only time I've ever heard this was like in was it the Goodfellas or something like that? Like they really said that's the same thing basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They had like kind of words like this or like slang like this in the movies.
Yeah, they're right. Like Tony being like the gabagool or whatever.
Yeah. Something like that. Something like this.
It's like a regionalism, and somewhat that's Italian based too. So,
Oh, okay. So next one is oofda.
Oofta. Oh yeah. Oofta. It's a phrase expressing surprise, dismay, exhaustion, relief, or sudden shock to the senses. It's a word that means absolutely everything. Okay, it's like the Packers Zubas of expressions. Works everywhere. You can wear those pants to work, school, church. Same way oofta is appropriate in every situation. Like you would say it like. Okay, if let's say your pet dies, what do you say?
Oh my God.
Well, you would say, try it with me now. Oofta, your pet dies.
Oofta.
Yeah. A baby is being born.
Oofta.
A baby is being made.
Oofta.
Well,
I don't know.
Now technically the guy would go oof and the lady would go duh again. But, that's just a technicality, okay? So, yeah, that's oofta. Anytime it's appropriate.
Yeah, that is oofta. Okay, so this one, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it O-P?
Ope.
Ope.
Yeah.
What is ope?
Ope. It's like, ope, sorry, I'm late. Ope, sorry, I didn't mean to see you there. Ope, sorry, you stepped on my foot. That's my bad for taking up oxygen on planet Earth. Oh, sorry, I brought a beer into church. I didn't know.
We do have, obviously not the same word. We do have in Greek, opa.
Opa. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's more of like a celebratory, like in a wedding or something like that. Opa, you throw your plate, you start breaking plates, which is the thing. People don't know this, honestly, because sometimes they'll be like, do you guys really break plates? Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. And it's spelled the same way, O-P-E?
No, it's O-P-A.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay. So I got you another one. Oh, my God. I was like, so the number 7 now is Papi Chow.
Puppy chow.
Papi Chow.
Yeah. That? Oh, puppy chow is great. It's like Chex. You know the cereal Chex?
Chex? No.
It's these little rice kind of squares. So you eat them for cereal. And then you basically put chocolate on them or peanut butter, melted chocolate, and then you shake them up with powdered sugar, and it's really good for you. Yeah.
I don't know if it's really good for me, but I gotta try it though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'll try. That's crazy. I'm learning so many things today. Okay. Guess what's the next word?
Brat.
No, bubbler.
Bubbler. See, I told you.
Yes.
I mean,
yes. Oh my God. Okay, so I know what bubbler is. It's a fountain. Okay, I know that. Okay.
Drinking water.
Yeah, drinking water. So the other one is you betcha.
You betcha. Oh yeah, you betcha. Yeah, it'd be like saying you bet or it's the longest way you can say like bet. Like,
What is it? It's like, oh yeah, I got you. Is it the same thing or?
Sure, it can mean that. Like,
What does he mean?
like it's like, yeah, you betcha. Like, you want to come with me? Oh yeah, you betcha. Should we go do this thing?
Yeah, sure. Let's
betcha.
get it. Let's do it. Okay.
Should we have a brat and then go swig out of the bubbler, but first see if we can go pheasant hunting and accidentally shoot a minivan? Yeah, you betcha. It can be used in a variety of situations.
So then I have five more.
Five more.
Come on. We can do this. O for cute.
Oh, for cute. Oh, jeez. Like it's kind of like it's like you see a baby like sitting there, like it's something cute. You see a baby come up to their mom and just spit up all over them, and you're like, oh, for cute. You know, it's just anything that's cute. You know, you go to a baptism, you see your niece get waterboarded, she cries, you're like, oh, for cute. What do you?
Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to end it there.
Yeah. My mom will love that.
And the crazy part, it was so many of them. It's like, oh yeah, Midwest words and slang, and like you had like 10, 15 words pop up. But it's crazy that how different culture is.
Yeah. Yeah. What's like a Greek word?
A Greek word for what? We have words for everything.
For like, is there anything like bubbler? Like it's sort of a nickname for something that's very common. Or like,
but it's mostly bad words, and I don't want to say them.
Oh,
it's bad words, and I don't want to say them.
That's okay.
But wait.
But you will.
I won't.
No.
But
How about a borderline?
borderline.
Yeah.
I mean, the most famous word is malaga.
Malaga.
And now, how am I doing this? It's a bad example to this kid, but I'm okay. It's my podcast. Don't watch this. I'll just close it. Close the podcast after this. So malaga. So you want to say, malaga could mean a lot of things. So, but the word itself, it means wanker.
Oh.
You're a wanker.
Yeah.
But I could say to my friend, like, yeah, where are you? You're good.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
Hey. So you basically say, what's up, dog? It's like, which is a crazy statement to say, but that's like,
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you're with your buddies, you walk in the door, you're like, hey, what's up, you wankers? How are you guys? Kind of in a similar way.
In English, it doesn't sound the same. It doesn't sound the same in English, but that's
I would say Malaga is a cooler sounding word.
Malaga, where you been? Malaga, I was here,
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of the
I'll dust that one off in the Midwest and see how it goes. I'll send you a full report.
Please let me know. I do want to. First of all, the one thing I wanted to ask you was that, like, you do have the podcast. Like, what are your goals after the podcast?
Oh, my goals. So I think what would be nice is if stand up. I would say is my main thing.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to like put out a special and sort of get in a rhythm of where I can like tour for a couple years, put out a special, tour for a couple years, put out a special. It would be nice to tour and do stand-up without needing to continue to crank out videos in a sort of as fast as maybe these algorithms want us to keep posting new content, and to just get like a more of a healthy work-life balance, I think. That would be my goal. Because I like doing stand-up. I'm working on some shows, like writing them. And if they go, great. But honestly, I'm just trying to like go fishing more and do more hunting and do more things. I feel like I've been working pretty nonstop for a long time. So I'm basically trying to retire. Is it? No, I'm not. But my goal is to like be able to create content that I believe in and love and all of that, and then not be like so burnt out, I mean, I don't know. Do you feel that with putting out content like that? Because you're also doing your job of playing ball, and then
100%. And like people see all these interviews on this podcast, like pop hit the channel and the YouTube, but they don't know like I've already shot those. Like I'm not actively shooting. Like I'll go for a month or weeks, right?
Oh yeah, you bank them.
But you know who did that? Who really good at that? He was actually on the guy who did the Ridiculousness. The show?
Yeah.
So that's what he did. They say supposedly
he would just go shoot. He would go for a
month or 2-3 weeks and shoot like 300 plus episodes, and then spend the entire time with his family, and then they would air the episodes, quote unquote. They would air the episodes, etc. So, but the thing with the podcast is that obviously your podcast will go slower a little bit because you don't go viral all the time, like certain topics right now. But the people who follow you stay.
Yeah,
it's a loyal fan base, and you just gotta you work your way through. So that's what I do, and because I play. Now, if I was a guy who was like that was my job. Oh, trust me, you would see something. Like I would have probably this one, a spin-off, another one. Like I would have like 2, 3 things going on at the same time and just release content because that's what people want to see. If people want to see you, they want to binge watch.
Yeah.
They want to they will see like the interview. They're going to see the shorts. They're going to see the short clips. They're going to see everything. So, and the other thing is them, like what they want. You know, if they ask, like they're like, oh, I want to see Charlie again. Like, hey, do you want to come back again? Do you want to, you know?
Right.
And what do you want as well? That makes you feel great. If you had chemistry with one of the guests, like you got to bring him back.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
So stuff like that, and if you could do that, and it becomes like and you know this better, man. You're like, this is your job. Like you create content. You're in this. You're like you're doing the specials, and you're like from city to city. You're building things now, and then once you figure out, okay, now like I can go for 2, 3 weeks and just shoot. And then now I can just relax and only do my specials, but I don't have to shoot anymore because if now the only thing I got to do sometimes is like about current topics. Like let's say, do you watch hip hop? Do you listen to hip hop?
Yeah.
See the Drake and the
nice little beef going right now.
Beef going right.
Yeah.
And then you want to talk about that.
Right.
Or you want to do a skit about that. Or you want to. Which is right now going on.
Yeah, I know, like the topical thing. I used to do that a lot in news too, is spin it quick. Yeah, and some of that, it's kind of like, right, that is another level of it, you know? Because there's that viral content that you want to get and take advantage of that. But I think if I step back and say, why am I doing that? I'm probably doing that to kind of, I'm not authentically doing that. It's like right there. And I don't necessarily want to do it at this point. I kind of want to just do stand up more, or at certain points, maybe I want to do stand up more. Maybe I like this podcast thing I'm doing more.
Yeah.
Maybe I like these videos that I'm doing this week. But one of these videos, it's like, maybe I'm just doing that one because like, I know from an algorithm perspective that you have to put out a certain amount. So I think what I'd like to do is like get to a place where every video that's put out isn't and to be honest, most of them are in the pocket of what I like. There's only a few that I'm like, maybe I wouldn't have put that out authentically. I'd like to put out like one video a week. You know, and that video to be satisfying.
Yeah, you know, it's so crazy that you said that, and that's exactly what I thought because I'm always on the fly and always being authentic, and everybody first thing I would think like, oh, I mean, I don't think the world cares about what I got to say about this, right?
Yeah,
but your fans actually do.
I know.
Your fans want you to talk about anything.
Dude, that's an interesting.
That's crazy, right?
It's who are we serving with the things? Are we serving the fans, the algorithm, or ourselves? And who should we be serving?
I'll be obviously number one is ourselves and what makes us happy. And then because if you're happy, your fans are happy as well. They follow you. It's not they have a relationship with you. So if you think about it like that, it's more of the algorithm. They can decide to make it blow up. The fans can decide to start sharing with their friends, and that's why we say share, like, comment, subscribe.
That's true.
All right?
That's true.
They can decide and make it go crazy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is that I think people now try to we call this like blow up, like go viral, right?
Right.
And instead of trying to grow a tree, like deep roots slowly. Like when when I started doing the podcast, I didn't tell nobody. My first season, nobody didn't even know I had the first season. Like now my fans are actually going back and like, oh, you had the Lex, you had the, nobody knew. Second season, slowly, didn't really advertise like that. I didn't even have sponsors, nothing. Because I really wanted people just to subscribe or follow because they liked it when I brought Charlie on the show. They liked when I brought Jordan on the show. And all these people because of that. Then, in 2, 3, 4 years from now, maybe they'd be like, "Oh, shit, okay, now we gotta add more stuff." Now, if I want to add more stuff, I'll just have somebody else as well. I might just be like, "Hey guys, let's do a spin-off. Let's have somebody else as well." Like, it's getting too much, Or same thing for you. Like, you'd be like, "I want to do specials only. I got like videos," and then at some point it's going to be nothing for you to just have a team and they literally do this in your house. Be like, hey, what do you want to talk about? And you just like, yeah, set the content, edit it, and
Yeah.
good content for it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and I think maybe some of it's all very doable. Also, I know there's probably a bunch of people out there listening like, dude, don't complain about doing too many videos. But I kind of wonder, it's not so much that I'm curious about. I kind of wonder how many, I guess this is what my question boils down to. How much content do people want to view? And should people want to view? Like, should we be spending more of our lives doing this or less of our time doing this as people? And then how do you as a creator, so again, should I put out 1 to 2 videos a week or 2 to 3 because the algorithm favors more content, which favors more people doing this and less time being outside and enjoying that, you know?
So I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Right? Normal people, and I use the word normal, right, will go out regardless. Or it doesn't matter if you post every day or you're the hottest thing out there. If they want to go out for a coffee or they want to go out and not see you and not watch you on the phone, they're going to do that regardless. But you got to understand, right now, there are people who watch movies, and if there's a part in the movie they don't like, they'll do this.
I know.
Right?
They're watching it during the movie. Yeah.
So...
I mean, I do that too. I mean, we're all the same.
It just happens. You're like, oh my God, look what he posted. You watch it for a minute. You watch the whole video for a minute or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And you go back to your movie or whatever the case might be. So I think everybody's fighting for attention. Now, you don't want people to, you don't want people to scroll all the time and watch your content. But what you want to do is put out good quality, either visuals, either people are talking, have quality in what you say. When people come back, they feel they're left better.
Yeah.
Can mean.
That's true. That's true.
It's all fun and seriousness, but at the same time, if you give them a little bit of gem now and then, it's always nice. Have cool quality people and have funny discussions, stuff like that. So
no, it is sometimes it's all about reframing your mind and how you think about something. Yes. And I think sometimes you can get burnt out, from just being on the road too much or whatever, and then you start to think of it in a weird way. But I do like that way of framing it. It's like whatever they're watching, if it's good, if it's gonna push through, they're gonna come back, and it doesn't matter how much you post it, really.
Yeah, it's more of the appreciation, and they feel like, oh my God, look, he knew. If they keep telling you please post more, but you don't, they're not gonna love you less.
Do you interact a lot with fans?
So I haven't. I've always done my interactions through events.
Yeah.
With my brother. So that's how we always interact with fans.
That.
We'll do different events in Greece or in our stores or being live, shake their hands, sign stuff, most like that. But now I'm thinking about this year trying to interact more on the socials, but not like me. I'll to have the team just gather nice comments or people who are send messages or in the broadcast channel, and I'll just get a weekly update or bi-weekly update, and then they'll be like, hey, just text this guy back or send this to this guy back or tell this guy thank you so much. I'll just see the comments, and then because I think it's a community, it's a community, and people don't see it this way, but you can imagine did you see when Apple came out with the glasses? You saw that?
Yeah.
So think about spatial computing, right? Think about now we won't have phones, right? And Instagram is going to be all around us. Now, in real life, it's already all around us, but let's say Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, or it's X now.
Yeah.
It's going to be all around us, right?
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary, but it's real. And in the butt, you could do this, and then all of a sudden you would go to your community, and it would pop faces everywhere. Where they at, what they doing, and who they are. So then basically, the more you interact with people and the more you interact with them, the better you have a feel of what they want, and you have better ease, because if you interact with them, they don't care if you post videos. I'm telling you, they don't care.
Oh yeah. No,
they want content. They want content, but the content is for you to build a new fan, bring more people to awareness of what you're doing, and to build they don't really care. People who are already with you, they don't care if you post one more time. They could care less. They want to see you active. If you don't post a video, but you post stories about hey guys, what's up, and you interact with them. That's it.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean, I think the big thing is like, if you don't post a video in a while, then the algorithm sees that, and then when you do post a video, then it doesn't distribute it to your people.
You get penalized for that.
You get penalized. 100%. So that's what I mean. Is how much are we? 100%. Who's driving the amount we post? Is it people or is it algorithm? I think that's just my small question. And there's no way to find out because nobody knows what the algorithms are doing because they're talking to themselves.
I think it's always been driven for people to have more content and more attention to it. So that's basically the win-win situation. Now, I really don't know in the companies of how it works. But what I do know is that I have some facts from my man Tony. I'm facts.
I love this part of the show, man.
And
this might be my favorite part.
I'm here to get to it. Is it true or false that the best way the white-tailed deer avoids predators it's by outrunning them in the forest?
So there's a few ways, you know. Is that the best way? First of all, they got great camouflage.
Yeah.
They do. And they also can jump.
Yeah.
You know, and they can also, they're very agile. Now, is running the best way? So now I got to think about their predators. Wolves.
Yes.
You know, and wolves, I would say, are faster than deer. No, that's not true. Ooh, is that true? I'm going to say, this is probably the longest deliberation you've had over the animal fact. Is running the best way? I'm going to say yes because I'm going to include jumping in the running. Okay. If jumping is the answer, then I'm still right.
Okay, yeah. But it's actually false.
What is it?
Because the deers are actually, at best, escaping by swimming.
Really?
Yes.
That's have you ever seen swimming deer?
No, I just found out. I literally just found out the same way you did.
Really? That's like, wild. I don't think I was gonna get that. Yeah.
Okay. Finally, we won one. We've been like 3-4 shows. We haven't won one.
Come on. Now don't brag while I'm here. Don't gloat while you're only happy because I'm not smart enough to get this.
True or false? Badgers are considered one of the cleanest animals.
One of the cleanest
animals.
A badger?
Yes.
Cats are very clean. I'm going to say false for sure. Dang.
False? It's actually true.
Really?
Yes. Badgers don't even bring food to where they sleep because they like to keep it clean.
Wait, say that last thing again?
I'm saying like they actually don't even bring food to where they sleep.
Really?
Because they want to keep it clean, yeah.
Dang.
Yes.
This was my favorite part. I was ready to like get 100 on this.
Okay, you got another chance. So, okay. Is it true or false that the female robin bird, the state bird of Wisconsin, sings to protect their nest and babies from others?
Does a female sing to protect the nest from others?
Yeah, the baby and the nest.
So I'm going to say, okay, so a female robin, all the female birds look more, are like, if you ever like see a bird out there and you're like, why is that bird so ugly? Probably a female, you know? No, because they're trying to camouflage to protect the nest from other predators. So they're trying to blend in. Meanwhile, the males are out there peacocking. And the males are the ones that are like, you know, so the only reason that the female would be whistling would be to alert the male that there's like someone and to call for help.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, I want to say false because, it's false. Thank God. I just wanted a hint. I was looking at those eyes. If I got all these wrong, I was going to be pissed.
It's false. It's actually the male does all the singing. It's crazy that you explained it.
Yeah, males do the same because they're trying to attract. That's like how they.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. It's like. It's like, you're a real hottie. Shake your tail feathers. That's how birds do it, you know. And the females can just sit there all disheveled, like. I guess I'll do the one with the sexy song and the beautiful dress, you know?
Oh, my God.
It's wild.
Yeah, but you did get one, and you actually explained it to the T. That was the crazy part.
Thank
Also, I was
you.
laughing. I was like, "Oh my god, he's saying this all the way."
Oh,
to
is
the,
that what that the
yeah,
thing
because
was
you're
saying?
saying because he was saying like all the male, like only the male does all the singing.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you were explaining like, hey, they don't sing, but the only reason they would sing is because
Yeah,
to alert.
to
like,
alert.
Yeah. Okay. And that's all for the animal facts. If we're watching and listening, but you know how I end the podcast is I end the podcast always with either a quote or either a story that like keeps you motivated or keeps you going. Like what is something that you think about all day, or something you read maybe, or something you watch that like keeps you motivated and it's like, man, I really want to do this and really succeed in what you're doing.
Yeah, no. You know, I think when I was early on in my journalism stuff, I was working with this guy, a mentor of mine. His name was Gary Matsumoto, and he always, told me about the art of like observing, and like just looking at things, how people interact, how birds interact, how birds do it. Not that I'm just observing that, but I did get a nice pair of binoculars. But observing how people react to things, do things. You sit in a bar, you listen to people talk, like just observe, and that's can lead you somewhere, and I think like whether it's journalism or comedy, if you look at who we are as people and you start asking questions, why are we that? I think people would go maybe a lot further. Maybe we all would go a lot further if we just listened to other people more and observed other people more, as opposed to a knee-jerk response, because I think like social media requires, I'm important, I'm better, I'm smarter, da-da-da. Yeah. And then the opposite of that, I think, would be like listen and observe, see where people act the way they act, and then think about, is that good? Could it be better? Are you helping it be better, or are you helping it be worse? Yeah. That was a very convoluted thing. So not really but it's what.
No, I'm just like, so basically saying you just like, you observe, you sit back, you dissect things, basically. You observe and now, so a lot of people are like that. And not, but they just don't describe it like that. They're like that, they sit back, they just observe, watch, and they find the way what they want to do. Because a lot of people are very straightforward nowadays. Is just like come out and be like, hey guys, I want to do this, I want to do that, or etc. But then you don't find a lot of people who just sit back and say, okay, this is what I want to do. I got to find the right person to help me. I got to find the right person to, like where I want to go, what I want to do. And especially in your situation now, let's say example, like that you've built this fan base, you're doing all this great stuff. If you go out there and you say like, hey guys, this is what I want to do, it's a lot of people who come to your aid and they come to help you, but you don't know if everybody is good for you at the same time. So it's always good to observe and to see it. So
that's what you were talking about at the beginning too. Like you're basically observing energy.
Just like this is what I like, this is what I don't like. But so for you guys who are listening, like it's really really important for you guys to be able to read your surroundings. And sometimes you just gotta be quiet in the moment. Not and especially in the moment that you want to basically get to the next level, you want to do all the things. Sometimes you just need to, before the storm, obviously, you got to be, simmer down, think about things like, all right, I'm heading into this. How do I want to go? How do I want to go about this?
Yeah, take a minute. It comes down to like living in the moment, I suppose. So
yes.
Yeah.
Man, then now we come to another end of the show. Unfortunately, I could sit here for a couple of hours, but I really appreciate Charlie for his time. Please go and follow him on his socials. Go and spam his comments when this comes out. Tell him, hey, I came here from Thanasis. We want you to come to Greece. You got to come to the show. Again, you want to give him your socials? Give him your socials.
Oh, yeah. At Charlie Berens. That's it. CharlieBerens. I gave him the spelling if they're lazy.
Yes, sir.
And, I appreciate you. This is so fun, man. This is so fun. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you for coming in. And again, Charlie Berens, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. He has amazing content, amazing comedian. represents the Midwest, represents Milwaukee. You know, one of the best to do it here, and hasn't even done it yet. Hasn't even reached where he wants to be, man. This guy's special. If you guys want to follow Thanasis, you want to listen to the podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, available on every platform, on YouTube. If you want to watch the socials, Thanasis Show, please like, subscribe, share, comment, you know, good or bad. Feedback is amazing. You know, good, great, let's keep it going. Bad, let's get better. You know?
Be good and bad. You
good
can just
and bad.
Oofta.
Oofta. I love it. I love it. Love you guys. You guys have been amazing. Let's have a great summer. Ciao. Thanasis is recorded at No Studios, Milwaukee's creative hub and production studio.